all looking absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. You're dressed splendidly. You're appropriately attired. Are you having a wonderful time?
Yeah.
Are you having a wonderful time? Yes, of course you are. This to you is like Tosca at the Royal Opera House, isn't it? Yes, you're satisfied, aren't you, with your simple working class pleasures? Not for you, the sophisticated joy of rousting a vagabond with an antique blunderbuss. No, not for you, piloting a catamaran to victory in a Bahamas race. No caviar for you. You're happy, aren't you, with your soggy bag of pommes frites and your warm liter John of your common ale, aren't you? Yes, you are. So you're probably wondering why I'm addressing you in this ludicrous falsetto. Well, the truth is, my real voice is so absolutely filthy, so bleeding horrible that it sounds like I crawled out of the Libertines in 1900. Nothing on me back but the chips on me shoulders. I was the whole way through the gig. I'll be thrown off the stage. So if I keep addressing you like this, perhaps we can keep things on an even keel. It is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, the idea of clean comedy and cleanliness, because life itself is so absolutely ludicrously filthy. Think about it. You pour forth, don't you, from a rent and torn hee-haw into a pool of viscera and effluent. The first 6 months of your life are spent vomiting over everyone near you, voiding your bowels with absolutely no regard for normal human decency. As you grow older, you become aware of your body, don't you, as an erogenous playground for older boys and girls. That's true, yes. Yes, and then, depending on your penchant, you either spend the rest of your life trying to find that special someone to join you on the seesaw, or invite as many people as you can onto the merry-go-round, oh Lord, don't you? Life is terribly filthy, and when we die, we don't become nice, soft Patrick Swayze ghosts, do we? No, we become old, cancer-ridden Patrick Swayze. Buried in the ground. Eat our brains, don't they? Yes, they do. I am Gareth Stack, that is my name, but I like to think of myself as the Irish Russell Brand. It is a bit of a reach, obviously. Maybe I could be the short, fat Irish Russell Brand. It could be worse. I could be the tall, thin Irish Joe Brand. They're such a weird couple, aren't they, though? Joe and Russell Brand. Who would have thought that a man so handsome would end up with his mum? Eerie. So, in the cliched fashion, as we're wont to do, I recently got out of a relationship. No, you can say, "Ah," no, you don't have to keep laughing. It was sad, but it was okay. But I came to a really stunning realization. I realized is this: when you leave a relationship, you go through certain stages, inevitable, inexorable, unavoidable stages. Weirdly, exactly like the stages of moving house. So bear with me. Stage 1, you plonk your sign on the lawn, right? You know, you're glad at the chance you had to get to know the neighbours, but you're also really glad you're getting out of that filthy old shithole. And you know that in years to come you'll be able to drive by with a few folks in the back and go, "Oh, you live there. Of course it was newer and it didn't have that hideous extension." Stage 2. Surprise, surprise, your old house hasn't sold. After all, it's not quite as nice as it once was, at least not since you let the lads have that hot dog barbecue in the back garden. What's worse is you haven't been able to find anywhere. It seems like everywhere you turn up to is either out of your price range or it's already been sold. So you start looking at less illustrious neighbourhoods. Places that, with a bit of work, could be lovely. Maybe they're past their best, but no joy. Stage 3. You still haven't been able to find any result. But you know that to pay for one more night in a hotel, you're going to be physically ill. So you start getting in touch with some of your old landlords just to see if any of the places you used to live are back on the market. It's not so bad. You remember how much you used to like to live by the river. It's beautiful, and every summer there were water sports. And there is one more normal, healthy stage, stage 4, daft.ie. But then, if that doesn't work, there's sort of another stage, but it's only for the truly homeless, the truly desperate, living under a bridge, trying to stay out of the cold, trying to drink the last drops out of a little tub of Vicks Vapor Rub. Stage 5, phoning up friends and relatives to see if they've got a room free. Maybe they want to do a house swap, I don't know. So I have been accused of being a bit of a misogynist. It's a charge I deny, but if there's anything to it, it's not my fault. It's my checkered sexual history, which I will now recount in grotesque and vivid detail. So like many people in Ireland, and especially in Dublin, and like many people maybe in this room, I had my first sexual experience, not in a warm velvety bed, but in the toilets of a pub. And not just any pub, but a pub known throughout Dublin as Fibber McGee's. Yeah. Fibber McGee's, or as I like to call it, the lying vaginas. So myself and the girl that I was dating at the time, we'd go along of an evening to Fibber McGee's, and we'd heavy pet on into the evening, and then I'd walk home like a man whose testicles had been replaced by 2 angry hornets' nests. So as you can imagine, I was particularly eager the evening my hot 17-year-old schoolgirl girlfriend dragged me to the bathrooms of the lying vaginas, and we proceeded inelegantly, but rather insistently, to tear her clothes off and throw them over the stall door. Alcohol had roiled the waters behind the dam of her Catholic schoolgirl inhibitions, and it threatened to burst forth and drown me in the delicious wine of teen sex. But it was a moral quandary. I couldn't take what this girl claimed was her virginity in the toilets of Dublin's worst pub. I was sober, she was drunk. I couldn't do it, but I held strong, and I didn't let that girl fuck me. I'm not going to say I didn't throw her a bone, but whatever went down that night is between her and me, and my lips are sealed, and hers are going shut with a little trick over and but it was kind enough to allow that very same girl to take the delicious cherry of my manginity just a few short weeks later. He wasn't there, but he would have enjoyed it. There we lay on the floor of our parents' living room. I'd missed my bus again, and we were struggling because it was, to be honest now, to be brutally honest, it was the 11th or 12th time that we'd attempted the procedure. And the problem was, it wasn't that we didn't know what to do or that we couldn't find the time. It was more a difficulty of dimensions. And I don't know if you've seen that documentary where Michael Moore tries to go spelunking, but it was a little bit like that. It wasn't that I was so grand. It was more that she was so petite. And so as we lay there, reluctantly fondling one another in the half dark, she whispered to me, maybe this is it. Maybe this means that we should be together. And so I thought about that, and I replied, maybe, or maybe you just lie here a second and Daddy will go and sort this out. And I got up from that horrible floor and I raced into the kitchen. I looked everywhere, I looked around for something, anything to solve this problem. I couldn't find it, there was no fresh cooking oven. But there, lying asunder like a trove of treasure, was my potential salvation. There, dead chips on a sea of bacon grizzle, like sea otters after an oil spill. That thick, loamy lard, the deep fat fryer still warm from earlier, and been producing dinner. But I didn't use that, because that's absolutely disgusting and you're sick for everything. No, I went over to the fridge, and I raced over and I opened it, and there in the cold, dead fridge light lay my salvation. So I picked it up and I raced back in, and I greased the key and I waxed the lock. And 5 seconds later, one lay satisfied, the other defiled. But I was an absolute gentleman, and I never returned that tub of churn to the fridge. So I do have one more joke before I go. This is something that someone sitting over there, I won't point them out just so as not to embarrass them, told me earlier. You can be the judge of its quality. What do you call the area between your nuts and your arsehole? Any ideas? It's Ballsbridge. There we go. Thank you very much.
Gareth, everybody.